Today is August 1st, 2020. My name is Charles Suter. I'll be presenting today part 2 of Guaranteed Jobs with a focus on the economics. Again, if you need more information about this topic, I recommend Pavlina Cherneva book, The Case for Job Guarantee. My main message here is that the public jobs option shall be budgetary neutral. One of the strongest arguments against the public jobs option is economic. Many people claim, especially the conservative politicians, that it would simply cost too much and provide too little value. However, the Guaranteed Jobs program could be designed to be budgetary neutral by shifting funding already spent on unemployment insurance, welfare, and social services to the public jobs option. And the social value of the public works projects would greatly contribute to the social well-being of the entire country. The Proposition 1 is it's a shift of focus from welfare to workfare. What that means is that funding would shift from all unemployment insurance, welfare, and Medicare to the public jobs option. I want to remind you that once people are employed, they'll begin paying taxes, and the taxes paid will partly offset the cost of the program. So the net cost of the public jobs option will be close to balancing out. Conservative funding is already spent to financially support the unemployed, many of whom with their families are forced to live in poverty. If these funds were reallocated to pay minimum/living wages to employ all the unemployed, the real cost of the jobs program would shrink substantially. If the quality of the costs to the nation are considered, the peril of the people and families living in poverty or homelessness, then the program would actually pay for itself. Proposition 2. The community will gain value from all public work projects. The nation's net national product will rise when the labor of all the unemployed are added to the nation's economy, and the community gains valuable services from the public works projects. If you consider the substantial amount of public value added by the Guaranteed Jobs program to the local communities, these contributions alone will raise the standard and quality of living. Many communities cannot afford to hire people to do all the value-added work that is needed or desired, such as child care, care for the elderly, disabled, added safety support, beautification, small infrastructure projects, building public housing, and the list goes on. Proposition 3. The public jobs option provides a reserve of labor for the private sector. The public jobs option will ensure a trained, ready reservoir of trained workers. So the economic problem of expansion and contractions are basically solved. One of the most important contributions of the Guaranteed Jobs program would be the steady supply of trained and experienced labor, ready to transition on demand to the private sector. With some 5 to 10 million more Americans employed and earning a living wage, demand for the nation's goods and services would actually rise, requiring more private sector jobs to supply that demand. When workers in the Guaranteed Job programs transition to the private sector to fill those new open positions, the private sector will now pay their wages, and the cost to the federal government is likewise reduced. When the economy declines, this is a for instance, and the private sector begins laying off their workers, then the public jobs option will absorb them and place them in useful positions in public work projects. The entire workforce is still employed, either by the private or the public jobs options, and the demand for goods and services will basically remain unchanged. just the employer. What this means is that the economic downturn will be self-correcting and any recession will be short-lived. My final message is that the public jobs option pays for itself both economically and socially. The public jobs option will solve not only the nation's unemployment problem, but other social ills as well. There will be substantial decline of people on welfare, the elimination of homeless, the less and less crimes based upon economic desperation. There won't be any unskilled laborers and no low-paying jobs in the private sector because the public sector would provide opportunities for jobs that pay at least at the minimum wage. The public jobs options offers an affordable remedy to real economic and social problems. That's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.